Hey, what's going on, world? It's your boy SB, and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Learning with Sauce. As always, I hope you're doing what you got to do to get to where you got to be. Today's conversation is going to piggyback off of last week's conversation, in which we broke down the differences and similarities between fear and faith. And I believe that patience hold hands with faith along our journey to success. And despite the rush that everybody is putting on your timeline, it's important that we talk about the power of patience and the significance of delayed gratification. It's not talked about anywhere near enough, but anybody that's built longevity in their craft can tell you. It's not about moving swiftly, It's about moving correctly. So let's dive into the conversation at hand. By definition, delayed gratification is the ability to resist immediate rewards in favor of larger, later benefits, contributing to personal success. In other words, it's about prioritizing what you want most over what you want right now. However, delayed gratification is deeper than being patient. It's about being intentional in your process. When you think about the power that patience and delayed gratification play in your journey to success, it's time that we settle the debate of working harder versus working smarter. There are three major differences between working smarter and working harder. While one focuses on input, the other focuses on output. Where one leads to burnout, the other leads to fulfillment. While one focuses on getting rich quick, the other focuses on the long-term reward. When it comes to success, a lot of people burn out because they're too focused on the quantity of their product and not the quality of their product. For years, we've been told to work hard and we will be successful. What we weren't told is that working hard towards something that you don't want will lead to a life of missed opportunity and untapped potential. I'm here to tell you the reason why I started this whole campaign is because I wanted to tell you that we are past those times. And if we truly want to heal and provide a different life for the generations after us, it's time that we get in alignment with what we really want out of life. By getting in alignment with what we really want, we are working smarter. I'm sure you've heard the saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. This saying is very true. Now, I want you to think about that one thing that you want to do and how much more meaning your life will have if you did that. I'm not telling you to quit your job, not yet anyway, but I am telling you that expecting to get rich quick is doing way more harm to this generation than it is doing good. However, if you can understand the effects of delayed gratification, you will see that the long-term results is what you're really after. Because let's be honest, longevity is the name of the game. Most people expect to jump in, get rich, and ride off into the sunset. But the real truth is, the process takes time. The key to unlocking this next level lies within the balance of working hard and working smart to minimize burnout and fatigue. Delayed gratification is extremely important because it gives us an opportunity to grow into that person that we need to be in order to handle what's coming next. We may not see the return right away, but if we continue to grow on a personal level, when it's time to reap the harvest, we will be both proud of what we've accomplished and able to enjoy what we worked so diligently for. Think about this. Imagine you can time travel and you can go back to 18-year-old version of yourself and you didn't have any knowledge of investing. How long do you think $1 million will last you? I want y'all to drop in the comments and let me know how long it'll take you to smoke through $1 million. Because I know for me, personally, I already spent that $1 million before I even finished that scenario. But now that we are in our mature stages and we have access to knowledge that we didn't have at 18, I bet we will all be smart enough to make that $1 million do some Simone Giles type backflips. But the main difference the reason why I brought that whole scenario up is the main difference between the 18-year-old version of us and the current version of us is we are now more mature in our reasoning and are focusing on our personal development, both of which play a role in today's conversation. When we are mature, we are learning to become self-aware, regulate our emotions, and able to form and maintain positive relationships. Maturing is also understanding that adversities are just as important to success as hard work and logic. Delayed gratification gives us time to live life. It gives us time to go through some things as well as to grow through some things. Because the person that comes out of the storm is entirely different than the person that entered. Patience is powerful for three reasons. It helps us make informed decisions, teaches us new life skills, and helps us lead a more peaceful life. The true power of patience is that it helps us make better decisions by prioritizing what we want most, versus what we want now. The people close to you aren't going to see the things the way that you do, and that's okay. Patience is going to allow us to make the right decisions that align with where we are actually going. Patience also assists us in learning new skills. It does this by showing us how to stay focused. It gives us the ability to comprehend what we don't understand. It helps us manage stress, and it also teaches us to persevere. Delayed gratification gives us the time to break down the whole problem and learn it bits and pieces at a time. I've given this analogy before, and I'm pretty sure you heard it. If you haven't, you can take this with you. It's like learning math. You can't go from addition to fractions and have a full grasp on a lesson. In order to move on to the next lesson, you got to go from addition, subtraction, so on and so forth. Yeah, you could be a math whiz, but everybody's different. Some stuff just takes time, and that's okay. You're not late to the party, but you'll get there when you're supposed to get there. Most important of all, patience guides us to a more peaceful life. When we are impatient, we tend to make mistakes, become anxiety ridden, and it opens the door for inactivity. But by learning to be patient, it gives us a chance to be in the moment and make the necessary adjustments and changes we can take care of now and to surrender what we can't. Because let's be honest, perseverance matters for one specific reason, in my opinion. None of us are exempt from adversity. Adversity is just as important to success as all of the positive attributes that we talked about so far. When we learn to tap into our inner strength and push through said adversity, we are becoming mentally tough. When we learn to be mentally tough, regardless of what's happened externally, we will show up internally by doing the work. Mental toughness is a necessity, especially when you're in the beginning stages of your journey. That's why it's crucial to tend to your garden and mind your business, not on what the next person is doing. When you're focused on what you have to do, you won't have time to criticize others or listen to the critics. Along with the attributes that we gain by embarking on the journey of delayed gratification, clarity and leadership rank right there among the top. By strengthening our mental toughness, we are able to see the way more clearly. When things try to knock us off course or the opinions of other people attempt to persuade us to follow the crowd, our clarity will keep us on the course to learn what we really need to learn. As it pertains to leadership, our future depends on our leadership of self. You won't feel like it every day, but when you show up on your worst days, you're demonstrating real leadership qualities. Like the old saying says, don't cry about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. So, in conclusion, it's time to get in touch with ourselves on an individual level and figure out what it is that we really want and ask ourselves, are we willing to put in the work to get there? The big deals that we want are out there, they're on the table. We just need to go into the person that is able to get access to the rooms that those tables are in. All the attributes that we've talked about today are the keys needed to get there. And as I always say, man, I believe in you, fam. Your journey has taken some time and you're growing tired. It's okay to take a few moments to rest, but you've rested for a good majority of this year. It's time to lock in and it's time to get it done. So with that being said, man, I hope you enjoyed the conversation today. I hope you understand that patience is a part of the journey. Don't worry about how long it's taking. Don't worry about what who's doing. Don't worry about what they doing. Worry about what you're doing. If it's taking you some time to get to where you want to go, it's obviously because there's lessons that you need to learn. I can't tell you what those lessons are. Your therapist can't tell you what those lessons are. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, nobody can tell you the life lessons that you need to learn. You need to do the soul searching and find out for yourself. And through patience, you're going to show yourself love. You're going to show up for yourself. You're going to do what's necessary to get to where you got to be. So I want you to drop in the comments and let me know what you learned from your version or your experience with delayed gratification. I'm interested to see how much we have in common, and I'm looking forward to supporting you on your journey. And before we close out the conversation, man, it took me at least 35, 40 times to get this episode almost the way I wanted. It's not perfect. I'm still getting better. If you wonder why I'm looking down, I got my notes right here beside me because I'm still working on, getting better in my delivery. But it took patience to get this episode done. I've been on this journey since 2010 when I was in college. Here it is, 2025. If I would have had this conversation with myself back then, at least 7, 8 years ago, I probably would be in a different spot. But like I just said, I'm not getting to the party late. I'm getting here right when I'm supposed to. So I hope this message spoke to you on the level to remind you that you're not late, dog. Take your time. Be patient. Do the work. Do the work, bro. Don't worry about getting rich quick now. Don't worry about going viral right now. Because the part that trip people up about going viral is once you go viral one time, you got to have that momentum going to where you can do it again, where you can do it again, where you can do it again. Most people can, but it's a lot of people, they get that one little viral moment and you never hear about them again. And I know you want longevity in the game. I know you want to set your kids up. I know you want to set your family up. In this moment right now of delayed gratification, you need to lock in and learn everything you can. Once you start learning everything that you can and start implementing, that's the key. That's the thing about patience is you get the opportunity to learn, but you also get the opportunity to implement what you're learning. And once you can combine that the grind with the muscle, and it's gonna come together, it's gonna come together perfectly. You're gonna get to your goals, you're gonna get to your blessings, you're gonna get to your dreams when you learn everything that you're supposed to learn. I believe in you, bro. I know you can do it. It's time that you believe in yourself. So with that being said, man, it's your boy SB. Doing the, you know, show up and just be consistent in this process, man. Because like I said, I'm new to this video stuff. I don't really like being on camera, but it's a part of what I'm trying to do. And I'm getting better every single day. I'm getting better. Like I said, it took me 30 times, 30, 40 times to get this 15-minute segment together. But here we are. We at the finish line. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. I need you to get in a comment below and let me know your experience with delayed gratification. Are you in that stage right now? Have you overcome that? How did you overcome that? What are some tips that you can give to the next person to help them stay focused on their goals, their dreams, and their aspirations? So with that being said, man, it's your boy. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at the Sauce Brady Experience. Make sure you check out the saucebradybooks.com website. I just added some new bookstore signings on the calendar. I got one more that I'm getting ready to add. And then you already know what time it is, bro. So get lifted, stay inspired. Make sure you roll that shit up for your boy too. Peace.